pill for blood pressure in the morning, another for your heart in the evening, a third for your joints after lunch. Sound familiar? But are you sure you're doing everything right? Today we're going to talk about subtle, yet incredibly dangerous mistakes often made by our parents and grandparents when taking medication. And trust us, some of these might truly surprise you. Stick around to discover how a seemingly harmless habit can lead to serious consequences, and, more importantly, how to avoid them. As we age, the number of prescribed medications often increases. It's not uncommon for someone to end up with a whole cocktail of pills, and managing this medication orchestra can become increasingly complex. The issue isn't that people intentionally try to harm themselves. More often than not, mistakes happen due to fatigue, forgetfulness, or simply a lack of clear understanding. So, let's break down these common pitfalls, one by one. Alright, mistake number 1, and it's probably the most common one. Self-adjusting your medication dose. Sounds harmless, right? You feel better, your blood pressure's stable. Why take a whole pill? Maybe half will do. You might think that makes sense, but it's a really dangerous trap. Imagine medicine isn't a magic wand that just poof makes you better. It's more like a coach constantly keeping your illness in check. The moment you loosen your grip and reduce the dose, the illness can strike back. Your blood pressure might spike again, perhaps even higher than before. Then there's the flip side of the coin. You might feel like the medication isn't helping, and then the brilliant idea pops into your head. If one pill isn't working, I'll just take 2. But your body isn't an engine you can just pour more fuel into. Increasing the dose without a doctor's supervision can lead to toxicity and serious side effects. Your doctor carefully determines your dosage, taking into account your weight, age, and overall health. It's a delicate balance, and messing with it is like walking through a minefield. Remember this, only your doctor can adjust your dosage. Let's move on to mistake number 2, which often stems from simple forgetfulness. It's missing a dose of medication. The phone rings, the grandkids visit, you get engrossed in an interesting TV show, and just like that, the moment's passed, and your pill is still sitting untouched in its compartment. You might think, what's the big deal? I just missed 1 dose. I'll take it tomorrow as usual. But it's far more serious than you might imagine. Imagine that for effective treatment, a constant and stable concentration of the medication needs to be maintained in your bloodstream. It's like keeping a fire going. You need to regularly add logs. Miss a dose, and your therapeutic fire starts to fade. For some medications, such as antibiotics or heart medications, even a single missed dose can negate all previous efforts. The illness gets a breather and a chance to strike back. So, it's not just simple forgetfulness, it's a genuine interruption of a vital treatment process that can have serious consequences. This brings us directly to the third common mistake, one that often arises from the second. So, what's the first thing people think of if they do miss a pill? I'll just take 2 at the next dose to make up for it. While that might sound logical, it's actually one of the most dangerous ideas you can entertain. Think of it this way. Imagine you're watering a plant. If you forgot yesterday, you wouldn't douse it with 2 buckets of water today, would you? You'd likely just drown it, causing its roots to rot. Your body works on a very similar principle. A double dose isn't a clever way to compensate. It's a sudden, potentially toxic assault on your liver, kidneys, and heart. This is, in essence, an overdose, and its consequences can be far more severe than simply missing a single dose. In most cases, the correct action is simply to resume your regular dosing schedule, as if the missed dose never happened. And if you're ever in doubt, especially with serious medications, always call your doctor or pharmacist for guidance. But never, and I mean never, double your dose on your own. That's a direct route to the emergency room, not to recovery. Now let's talk about mistake number 4, which might strike you as quite minor. It's all about timing. Your prescription probably states, in black and white, take in the morning. But morning isn't always the same. Sometimes it's 7 a.m, other times it's closer to 11. Or perhaps you got sidetracked in the morning and ended up taking your medication in the evening, just before sleep. What's the big deal, you might wonder? It's a huge deal. Our body isn't just a collection of organs. It's an intricate system that operates according to its own internal clock, our circadian rhythms. We have different hormones at play in the morning compared to the evening. Blood pressure and heart rate also fluctuate throughout the day. Doctors prescribe medications specifically with these biological rhythms in mind. For instance, a blood pressure medication taken in the morning is timed to be most effective during the hours when the risk of cardiovascular issues is highest. Similarly, cholesterol-lowering drugs are often prescribed for the evening because your liver produces cholesterol most actively at night. By shifting your dose to a more convenient time, you risk the medication not aligning with your body's natural rhythms, which can significantly reduce its effectiveness. It's like showing up for a crucial meeting only after everyone else has already left. You technically made it, but it's completely pointless. Mistake number 5. It's printed right there in every drug's instructions, yet for some reason, it's the one people most frequently overlook. This is the connection between medication and food intake. Phrases like before meals, with food, or after meals aren't just suggestions from pharmacists. They're crucial for the medication to work properly. Think of your stomach as a kind of chemical laboratory. Some medications need an acidic environment, which forms after a meal, to be properly absorbed. Others, conversely, are broken down by stomach acid, so they need to be taken on an empty stomach to bypass it quickly and reach the intestines. And the third group requires food to cushion their irritating effect on the stomach lining. For instance, taking aspirin on an empty stomach is a surefire way to develop gastritis, and washing down a pill with grapefruit juice instead of water. That can create absolute havoc in your system, because the juice can significantly amplify the effects of certain medications, potentially leading to an overdose. So, the next time you see that little note, take it seriously. It's crucial not just for the effectiveness, but also for the safety of your treatment. Okay, so we've covered taking your medication. Now let's open up that home medicine cabinet. Mistake number 6 is all about where you store your drugs, and the most common, yet absolutely unsuitable place for this: the bathroom. Sure, water's always handy there to wash down a pill. Convenient, right? But your bathroom is essentially a miniature tropical rainforest. Constant humidity and drastic temperature changes are the sworn enemies of most medications. Under these conditions, pills can get damp, change their chemical composition, lose their effectiveness, or even become toxic. Imagine your heart medication turning into a harmless piece of chalk, or, in the worst-case scenario, an unpredictable chemical cocktail. The ideal spot for your medicine cabinet is a dry, dark, cool place, far away from direct sunlight and heat sources like radiators, for instance, a closet in the bedroom or a pantry. Properly storing your medications is just as crucial to your treatment as taking them. Don't turn your bathroom into a graveyard for your expensive and essential drugs. The 7th common storage mistake, and it's a critical one, is ignoring expiration dates. You might think, what's a month or two? It's not like milk, it hasn't gone mouldy. It looks perfectly fine. So why not just take it? This line of thinking, however, can be incredibly dangerous. The expiration date on the package isn't just a marketing ploy to get you to buy more medicine. It's the manufacturer's guarantee that the medication retains its full potency and safety throughout that period. Once that date passes, no one can guarantee what happens to the active ingredient. It might simply degrade, becoming completely ineffective, or, as we sometimes say, a sugar pill. At best, you'll simply get no therapeutic effect whatsoever. But at worst, the degraded compounds could become harmful or even toxic to your body. Taking expired medication is truly like playing Russian roulette with your health. So, make it a habit to regularly go through your medicine cabinet and ruthlessly discard anything that's past its prime. Here's our 8th common mistake driven by the just-in-case mentality. It's keeping old medications, drugs your doctor long ago discontinued. You finished a course of antibiotics, but 3 pills are still in the pack. Your cough syrup helped, but half a bottle is still sitting there. It feels wasteful to throw them away, so all these items get stashed in the medicine cabinet for a rainy day. The danger here is twofold. First, if you experience similar symptoms next time, there's a strong temptation to self-medicate and finish what helped last time, instead of consulting a doctor. But similar symptoms can often mask a completely different illness. Second, over time, your medicine cabinet accumulates so many different boxes and bottles that it's incredibly easy to get confused. In a hurry or with poor lighting, you could accidentally grab the wrong package and take something entirely different from what you actually need. Your home medicine cabinet should be organised and current. It should only contain what you're currently taking as prescribed by your doctor and a basic first aid kit for emergencies. Everything else is just clutter that creates confusion and encourages dangerous self-medication. Mistake number 9 is an intellectual one. It stems from our overconfidence, from thinking we already know best. It's the simple unwillingness to read the instructions. Seriously, who actually reads those lengthy, fine print documents? The doctor already told us 1 tablet, twice a day. What more could we possibly need? Well, it turns out, quite a lot. All the truly vital information is hidden right there, in the instructions. Take, for instance, the section on drug interactions. You might not even realise your blood pressure medication is completely incompatible with a common painkiller you take for a headache, or that it shouldn't be taken with vitamin C. What about the section on side effects? It's not there to scare you, but to inform you what to look out for. If you develop a rash or feel dizzy after taking a pill, you'll know it's not a coincidence, but a possible reaction to the medication, and you need to inform your doctor immediately. Ignoring the instructions is like setting off on a journey through an unknown country without a map. You might get there, but you risk getting lost and running into serious trouble. The 10th mistake is relying too heavily on your own memory. You might think, what's there to remember? Just 3 pills, a white one in the morning, a yellow one at noon, and a blue one in the evening. Sounds simple enough, right? But then add another pill you take every other day, or drops you need every 4 hours. Our memory, especially as we get older, isn't always dependable. Get distracted, feel tired, have a restless night, and suddenly you're agonising over the question, did I take my morning pill today or not? Then comes the dilemma. Do you take another and risk a double dose, or do you skip it and potentially miss your treatment entirely? To avoid this daily guessing game, there's a simple, brilliant invention, the pill organiser. By sorting all your medications into individual compartments for the week, you'll always know exactly what to take and when. An empty compartment means you've taken your dose. A full one means it's time for the next. This simple system eliminates anxiety, prevents mistakes, and significantly streamlines your daily routine. When it comes to your health, don't trust your memory, trust the system. Now for our 11th common mistake, and it's not about the medication itself, but a crucial communication barrier with your doctor. Picture this common scenario. An elderly patient sits at a doctor's appointment. The doctor speaks quickly, using complex medical jargon. The patient, perhaps a bit hard of hearing, or simply overwhelmed, misses some key information, or doesn't fully grasp what's being said, but they're too embarrassed to ask for clarification. They don't want to seem foolish, or waste the doctor's precious time. So they simply nod along, feigning understanding, only to walk out of the office utterly bewildered. Should I take this pill before or after food? And what exactly did they say about the side effects? Ultimately, the meticulously prescribed treatment plan crumbles because of a basic lack of understanding. There is absolutely no shame in asking for clarification. Ask a follow-up question. Request that the treatment regimen be written down in large legible print. A good doctor will always be happy to help. Your health is one area where shyness and unspoken assumptions have absolutely no place. It's far better to seem a bit persistent in the doctor's office than to face the consequences of incorrect treatment alone later on. The 12th mistake directly stems from the previous one. When people don't get clear instructions from their doctor, where do they go for advice? Exactly! To the internet or to a neighbour. This is essentially a consultation with Dr. Google and various armchair experts. Just type in a symptom and you'll find hundreds of articles and forums where experienced folks eagerly share their success stories. Oh, garlic tincture completely cured my high blood pressure. Or, I don't touch any of that chemical medicine, I just use plantain. Your neighbour, meanwhile, will gladly offer you those pills that work so well for me. The real danger with this kind of advice is that it completely disregards your individual health profile. A medication that's a perfect fit for one person could be toxic for another, and those seemingly innocent home remedies? They can dangerously interfere with your prescribed treatment. The internet and your neighbours are fantastic for swapping pie recipes, but absolutely not for treating serious medical conditions. The only truly reliable source for information about your health is your treating physician, who possesses the necessary medical expertise and has your complete medical history. Everything else is a gamble, and the stakes are your life. Mistake number 13 is a direct product of the marketing age. It's the blind faith people place in advertised miracle cures. Our television screens and internet feeds are flooded with tempting offers. Professor Ivanov's innovative joint medication, a unique herbal blend to cleanse your arteries and restore your youth. These advertisements promise quick healing for all ailments, with no side effects and no need to see a doctor. Many older individuals, desperate to find effective treatment, fall prey to these schemes. They order these expensive, worthless products and begin taking them alongside their doctor-prescribed medications. At best, they simply waste their money. At worst, the composition of these so-called miracle cures is unknown and unpredictable. They might contain ingredients that weaken the effects of essential medication, or conversely, dangerously amplify them. They could also trigger allergies and other severe adverse reactions. Remember this, if a universal cure for all diseases truly existed, it wouldn't be advertised on TV between soap operas. It would be readily dispensed in every hospital. Do not trust advertising promises. Trust your doctor. The 14th mistake is unsupervised medication mixing. Imagine someone regularly taking their prescribed medication for blood pressure and diabetes. Then they get a headache. What's their immediate reaction? They open the medicine cabinet and grab the first painkiller they see. Or a slight fever crops up and a fever reducer is immediately popped. They do this without a second thought, believing these are just simple, over-the-counter drugs found in every household. But this apparent simplicity is misleading. The body of an older person, especially one on multiple prescribed medications, is a complex chemical system. Adding even one more component, no matter how innocuous it seems at first glance, can trigger a cascade of unintended reactions. For instance, some common painkillers can elevate blood pressure, completely nullifying the effect of their prescribed antihypertensive drugs. Others thin the blood, and when combined with prescribed anticoagulants, this could lead to dangerous bleeding. Any new medication, absolutely any, even simple nose drops or cough syrup, must be discussed with their treating physician. Only your doctor has the complete medical history and can advise whether this mixing is safe and appropriate in your specific situation. And now we've reached our 15th mistake, a particularly insidious one because it often masquerades as health consciousness. This is the fascination with harmless herbs and dietary supplements. The idea that anything natural is beneficial and can't hurt you is deeply ingrained in many people's minds. Think ginseng extract for an energy boost, St. John's wort to lift your spirits, or garlic capsules for cardiovascular health. Sounds appealing, right? But natural doesn't automatically mean safe. Herbs and dietary supplements aren't merely food. They're active substances that profoundly influence our body's biochemistry. And what's more, they can interact in completely unpredictable ways with the medications your doctor has prescribed. For instance, St. John's wort, though known as a natural antidepressant, can drastically reduce the effectiveness of heart medications, anticoagulants, and even birth control pills. Even seemingly harmless grapefruit and its extracts can dramatically boost the effects of statins, potentially causing toxic muscle damage. So the rule here is the same as with prescription medications. Always consult your doctor before taking any herbal remedy or vitamin supplement. Your health is far too delicate a system to conduct uncontrolled experiments on. The 16th mistake is silent endurance. You start a new medication and suddenly develop unpleasant symptoms like nausea, dizziness, dry mouth, or a skin rash. What's the typical reaction? Well, I guess this is normal. My body's just getting used to it. Or, I'll tough it out. It'll pass on its own. I don't want to bother the doctor with something so minor. This behaviour, while seemingly brave, is completely wrong. Side effects are not normal. They are your body's signal that something isn't right. Perhaps the dosage is incorrect. Maybe this particular medication simply isn't suitable for you and is causing an adverse reaction. Or it could even be a sign of a serious allergic reaction that requires immediate medical attention. To endure in silence in such a situation is to put your health at risk. Your doctor needs to know about all changes in your well-being, even those you consider insignificant. Only then can they promptly adjust your treatment by changing the medication, altering the dose, or prescribing additional therapy. Your body is talking to you. Don't ignore its signals. Mistake number 17. This one might not come as a surprise, but that certainly doesn't make it any less dangerous. It's the combination of medication and alcohol. For many older adults, a shot of brandy to stimulate appetite or a glass of wine for the heart is a familiar ritual, and they often completely overlook the connection between this ritual and the pill they took just an hour ago. Yet this connection is direct and extremely dangerous. Both alcohol and medication are metabolized in the liver. When they meet there, the liver is forced to work under a double or even triple load, potentially leading to toxic damage. What's more, alcohol unpredictably alters the effects of most medications. It can drastically amplify the effects of sleeping pills or sedatives, potentially causing respiratory depression. It can completely negate the effectiveness of diabetes medications, leading to a dangerous spike in blood sugar. And when combined with certain antibiotics or antidepressants, alcohol can become a genuine poison. The rule here is simple and allows no exceptions. If you're on a course of medication, alcohol must be completely off limits. Not just a little, not only on special occasions. Absolutely no exceptions. Full stop. It's simply not worth the risk for such a fleeting and questionable pleasure. The 18th common pitfall is purely physical, a mechanical challenge, yet its consequences can be severe. It centres around difficulties with manual dexterity. As people age, their fingers often lose their former agility, arthritis can develop, and vision may weaken. Suddenly, a simple task, like opening a bottle with a childproof cap, turns into a real ordeal. Or imagine needing to split a tablet in half, only for it to crumble in your hands, leaving a heap of powder and fragments instead of two neat halves. This frustration can lead to stress and anger, often resulting in an approximate, guesstimated dose, or even skipping the medication entirely. Such consistent dosage irregularities can severely undermine the effectiveness of the entire treatment. Fortunately, this is a solvable problem. Many pharmacies offer specialised aids, easy-to-use bottle openers and precise pill splitters. If a loved one struggles to manage on their own, pre-splitting all tablets and organising them into a pill box or dispenser can be a great help. These seemingly minor adjustments can significantly improve the accuracy and consistency of medication adherence, ultimately making a huge difference in treatment outcomes. Our 19th point builds on the last one, addressing a very common source of confusion: poor eyesight. Imagine a table covered with 3 or 4 different types of pills. They're small, often similar in shape and colour, typically white and round. And the labels on the packaging are printed in such tiny font you can barely make them out, even with a magnifying glass. In a situation like this, it's incredibly easy to mix up a blood pressure pill with a heartburn pill, especially in the morning when you're not fully awake, or in the evening with poor lighting. The consequences of such a mistake can be severe. The key here is organisation. Don't keep all your medications in one jumbled pile. Instead, Use a pill organizer with large, clear labels. You can also stick colourful stickers on the bottles or write the names in large letters with a marker. If possible, ask a loved one to help you pre-sort your medications for each day's doses. Unfortunately, eyesight doesn't improve with age. Our task is to create a system where errors due to poor visibility are simply impossible. And now we come to our 20th, and arguably most complex, mistake. It often brings together many of the issues we've already discussed. Medically, it's known as polypharmacy, but to put it simply, it's taking too many medications at the same time. Picture a common scenario: an elderly individual seeing a cardiologist for heart issues, an endocrinologist for diabetes, and a rheumatologist for joint pain. Each of these doctors, a fantastic specialist in their own right, prescribes medication. The cardiologist might prescribe 3 drugs, the endocrinologist 2, and the rheumatologist another 2. Crucially, they often aren't fully aware of the other doctor's prescriptions. Consequently, the patient leaves with a list of 7, 8, or even 10 different drugs. Nobody can truly predict how all these chemicals will interact within one person's system. It quickly turns into an uncontrolled chemical experiment. The golden rule, therefore, is that an elderly person should have one main doctor, a general practitioner or family physician, who continuously oversees their care. This primary doctor must be fully informed of all specialist prescriptions and be responsible for adjusting the overall treatment plan, removing redundant medications, and preventing hazardous combinations. But you know what's truly striking about this whole situation? The biggest, most critical mistake isn't any of the ones we've already discussed. It's the belief that this won't happen to me, or my parents have everything under control. Often problems begin with our own inattention. We might see a loved one taking a handful of pills, but we don't stop to ask who's actually overseeing this process. We ourselves might buy helpful vitamins or a joint supplement from the pharmacy without considering how they'll interact with their primary medication. And here's the crucial twist. Sometimes in our desire to help, we unintentionally become part of the problem. Realizing that the responsibility doesn't solely rest on the elderly person themselves, but also on their family, changes everything. The main takeaway is simple. The safety of our loved ones isn't just the doctor's responsibility, it's ours too. A simple conversation, helping them organise a pill dispenser, or even accompanying them to a doctor's appointment can prevent serious problems. Thank you for watching this important video all the way to the end. If you found this information new and helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Knowing that this topic resonates with you is truly important to us. Now, a question for you. Have you or your loved ones encountered any of these mistakes? Share your stories in the comments below. Your experience could really help others.